non-stop, 2 days, non-stop. I mean, and everybody's busy. Even the price of wood went up.
It shouldn't be like this. Election is, everybody should be happy, but it is what it is.
I don't even know the reason why they think something is gonna happen.
What do you guys think about spending the day doing this right before an election?
I know, man.
Terrible.
Terrible. This is the city we live in, though.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 4:30 starts right now.
And now at 4:30, the final push is over. Election day is here, and voters will decide between President Trump and Joe Biden.
Plus, early voting shatters records. What to expect if you're voting today.
I want to take you outside this morning. Live look, pretty picture right there. Already 40 degrees. Weather will not be an issue on this election day. A really nice day coming up today, in fact. On this Tuesday, here in Chicago, there were long lines for the last day of early voting, and now it falls to election day voters to finish the job.
4:40 in the morning inside the United Center. It is quiet for now. Michael Jordan's statue glowing in the early morning hours here. And just on the other side of MJ, take a look. A bunch of polling stations here inside the atrium of the UC. The home of the Bulls, the Blackhawks, turned into a polling super site for Chicago voters.
This election is spiritual, and I'm exercising my right to vote.
Not gonna lie, my main goal is to get Trump out of office. As you can see from my mask, me being a black man, Black Lives Matter.
I just believe that the current candidate for the Democratic Party is a better representation of what our country stands for as opposed to the Republican nominee.
This is the most important vote election that we ever had in our life. Please get out today and vote. Power to the people.
In Illinois at large, the state, across the state, over 3.5 million votes already cast in person and by mail. That is nearly double the 2016 number for the state of Illinois. And this is a trend, of course, Tanya and Terrell, we are seeing across the country record turnout in these early voting opportunities for people.
I'm voting to get Trump out. He took money from someplace to build this giant wall to keep these people out, and they're still coming in busload. Who cares? Let them come in, let them work. You know that the Mexicans are the backbone of this country? You won't find one dishwasher that's white.
I'm a Democrat, so this has been a very trying election. The fair tax, yeah, I'm all for that. Tax them, get the money. I'm broke.
My affiliation is Republican. I come out and vote every time, so I think it's important to be here to vote every time.
I think President Trump is the worst president we've ever had. We've got over 200,000 people dead because of him.
Hi, Kate here. It's just after 9:30 on Election Day, and I've already had one of what will be many, many cups of coffee throughout the day and the evening. But I'm starting my morning here at home on our Zoom editorial meeting, because in true 2020 fashion, we have all pivoted. So this is how our day is going to start, but let's see where we end up.
To be honest, I just don't care what the Democrats have to offer. I voted for Donald Trump. You don't vote for a person's personality. I voted Democrat all my life.
I voted for Biden and Harris. They don't align with my views completely, but right now my number one concern is COVID, because it's affecting my community the most in Chicago.
We're out here to do our duty. We're out here to vote, to show our part in this society. Not complaining, not protesting, but voting. And that's what the rest should be doing. Instead of tearing up stuff, destroying what they have, vote for what they want.
I'm all for the Democrats. All for the Democrats.
You named your party, huh?
I voted for Biden because Trump is no good. Because of the way he treats the black people. They has a commercial that Biden don't like black people, but I don't believe it.
This is probably the most divisive election that I have ever seen. When I go south of I-80, when you're driving to Kankakee, the world kind of changes. And so in Chicago, we have a view, and in Illinois, we have a view. I am really interested to see about the turnout of Black men, because really this election is going to come down to turnout in urban centers versus rural centers.
Again, inside the United Center, no one's here for Bulls game, no one's here to see the Hawks. People are here to vote on Election Day. First time ever in the UC's history.
Biden, I'm going to be 91, and I never had a president that I ever seen swear on television and use the language he uses. He's sick, period.
Trump was against the military and said that they're lazy. I have my 2 sons in the military, and for him to down someone like that wasn't right.
So I'm in the suburbs of Chicago, and I think that schools being shut down and kids not being in sports and the decision to push basketball off again has parents really upset. And it's not I want this. It's that you have taken my right to make decisions for my kid out of my hands. And out here, that's an overwhelming sentiment. They want kids back in school. They want kids back in sports, or they just want to have the decision.
I will say this. I have never seen more police officers, police vehicles moving around this central part of the city in my entire life, and I've lived here most of it. So what's going to happen tonight is dependent on 2 states, maybe 3. The best shot I think that Joe Biden has on Tuesday night is going to be in Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania does have kind of a wacky procedure county by county for counting absentee and mail-in ballots. There are some polls that will not count the ballots until Wednesday. They're not going to do it Tuesday night. They're going to count those on Wednesday. And if this is a really tight race, that could hold everything up.
All right, it's about 1:30. I'm inside one of the polling locations here in DuPage County. I want to show you here. You can see these signs here. They put them down all over so voters will know how to socially distance. Just another example of how election times have changed in 2020.
One of the strange things that's happening, we're about to start our first interview in just a few minutes. It's almost 2 p.m. And the interview is starting from home. First interview of election night for me is on Zoom.
Is it okay if I'm pro-Trump or yeah. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Because I thought about putting on my Trump visor, but I'm like, that's too much. He's kept his promises more than any other president. He truly loves America. He truly wants to put us first. And Donald J. Trump wants everyone to achieve the American dream.
It's a beautiful day. It turned out to be a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Yes, it is. I vote all Democrats. I voted Republican. Well, even though I voted Republican, I would like to see Joe Biden get in office. Yes, I would like to see him get in office, too. I think Biden can handle it better than Trump because he has the background for it.
Being a 24-year-old, I'm definitely big on the climate issues. In order to have a world to vote in, we need to have the world.
Despite some complaints cropping up across the country so far, there have been no major problems at the polls here in Illinois. Some voters telling the I-Team there's an issue, though, with a marker being used on ballots. But overall, Chicago election officials say voting's going smoothly.
And here in Illinois, where election history is rich in fraud, fistfights, and fakery, the most frightful problem so far today involves this: Sharpie pens used to fill out paper ballots.
We have been driving around the city all day looking for voters to talk to about their experience on Election Day, looking for polling places where we can film long lines and, a lot of energy. And we have not been seeing that at all. As a matter of fact, it feels like Chicago already voted. It feels like Chicago voted either early at the polls or through mail-in ballots.
Hey everybody, Judy Sue here. Just wrapped up our 4 o'clock news hour on air. And of course, we are just getting into our election coverage tonight. And lo and behold, what do we have? Breaking news with a car chase.
We're tracking some breaking news. This off the Dan Ryan Expressway. Sky Map 7 is over this. It looks like we have a chase here. That's an Illinois State Police trooper. It looks like behind this pickup truck.
Thankfully, that resolved itself nicely, so we got back to our election coverage. So right now, really, the polls are still open in Illinois until 7 o'clock, and so far, fingers crossed, so far the process has been smooth with our elections here in Illinois, but I know the night is still young. So right now, all of our crews are fanned out across our viewing area. I gotta tell you, the logistics of planning that, mind-boggling, but that's what we live for. So I'm going to go off to watch some of the returns that are starting to come in on the East Coast, watching some of those states really closely tonight. So I'll be back and talk to you later.
Hi, it's Linda Young from South Shore, City of Chicago. So excited about the turnout. People who have never voted before had enough drive, confidence to come out and say, I want my voice heard.
I'm voting for Trump. I don't think that, your vote really matters, because I think a lot of what it comes down to is your local community versus just offloading your responsibility onto who the president is. Trump, Biden, I don't think anybody's going to do it for you. I think you should just do it yourself.
I feel like Trump in general, supports our country and unity. I don't feel like he supports racism at all. Biden, on the other hand, I feel does. He's done several things that I would consider racist, and it's a big thing that turns me off at him.
A high-ranking state of Illinois election official has just told me that statewide in Illinois, they are seeing huge numbers of in-person voters.
This is the first time he's voting.
Yeah, it's the first time I voted, so it was really exciting. I voted for Biden. He's more of an open guy. He's more just for the people.
It's feeling a little tense, but I think good. I've seen a lot of I voted stickers. I did place my vote for Biden-Harris. I felt like it was important to place my vote with people that I feel like I could trust. Working in healthcare especially, I've been severely affected by it all.
Welcome back. This election night update coming to you right from the inside of my car. Right now, we just finished up a couple of interviews with supporters, cast and supporters who just started showing up. The rally's not supposed to begin until 7 o'clock.
Shortly after 6 p.m., we learned that a number of Cook County precincts in the suburbs, 17 of them to be exact, will have to stay open late beyond the 7 o'clock normal closing time because there were problems in the morning when they opened. This is not unusual. Usually what happens is there are many of them that have to remain open late. The city of Chicago today, 0. They managed to skate through without having any problems, but in suburban Cook County, there were 17 precincts that for whatever reason opened late enough that voters could not vote. And so what happens is authorities have to go to court. They get a judge's order to remain open late. Usually it's an hour. Sometimes it can be 90 minutes or 2 hours.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight on this special election coverage on what is sure to be a historic night. Good evening, everybody. I'm Cheryl Burton.
I'm Alan Krzyzewski. Well, as you know, many polls have closed in Illinois, so we are watching the results to trickle in now for all these big races tonight. We'll have those results for you right here.
What I have been covering is actually exit polling, so those numbers are starting to come out. It's just a nice way for us to gauge voter sentiment before the final counts are out, which we know tonight it may take a while. So let me share just a little bit of that with you. So these questions were asked to the voters as they were leaving the polls today, and also some were conducted over the phone because of the pandemic and so many people voting early. So one of the questions we just covered on the air is, which is more important to you, containing the coronavirus now, even if it hurts the economy, or rebuilding the economy now? So 52% of the people said that containing the virus is more important to 41% who said that they wanted to rebuild the economy.
10 to 8. This is like crunch time. I mean, the returns are coming in, the newsroom's buzzing. Even though most of us are virtual, this is the time when we start to see returns come in from the state of Illinois, and then, of course, the presidential election as well. So I'm covering tonight the Senate race. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin going for his 5th term. He's running against Mark Curran, the former Illinois Lake County Sheriff. Senator Durbin is expected to hold this seat, but we got to wait till all the returns are in.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 10 starts right now.
Right now at 10, the race for president is a close battle tonight as the votes are still coming in and being counted.
Our political reporter Craig Wall has been working hard all night and crunching these numbers. He has the very latest on the Electoral College map. Craig.
Hey guys, let's take a look at the Electoral College map right now. You can see a lot of the red filling in here. President Trump up by 114 to 113 over Joe Biden.
Now tonight, Chicago taking precautions just in case there is any post-election unrest. The Wabash Avenue Bridge leading to Trump Tower has been raised tonight, and there are dump trucks and snow plows deployed across the city. Now, many businesses are also boarded up tonight in Chicago's commercial districts. They have put plywood over their doors and windows to protect against any potential violence. And we have team coverage for you tonight on the state's attorney's race. Let's go first to Eyewitness News reporter Sarah Schulte in River North with the incumbent Ken Fox at her campaign headquarters. Sarah.
Now, despite all the criticism she received over the handling of the Jussie Smollett case and the criticism she's received about being too soft on crime, it looks like she will be reelected for a second term.
I'm letting it sink in, to be honest with you, and it's still sinking in. This is just a night that I think we'll remember perhaps for the rest of our lives. I can't recall a time in my lifetime where people were so politically engaged and so absolutely connected in knowing what was going on, regardless of what side they're on politically, knowing what's going on and making sure that what they believe is the right thing to do is counted and it's accounted for. It's really incredible to see how involved people are in the political process this time around. And I think part of that too, or maybe a large part of it, is simply that individually people realize that there's a lot at stake here. Whatever they believe in individually, they believe in wholeheartedly. And they really want that to come across to those who are leading, and it's a sense of direction that they want locally things to go in, and a direction that they want nationally to go in. But it's always fascinating when people vote and you see the results come out and you say, that's the way it's going to be, because the people decided.